Live from the Orpheum Theatre in Vancouver, it's the Cloud Summit Vibe Lounge with your host, Chris Krug.
Hey, what's up, Internet? It's Chris Krug, and I'm here with the organizer of Cloud Summit Vancouver, Matt Carolan. What's up, Matt?
My brain is not working.
Typical event organizer friedness, huh?
Yeah, we've been up since 5 a.m. It's been crazy. I think this is what I said last time as well. Last year, I was like, it's been crazy. Yeah, but we went bigger and better this year.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be boring, right? You want to be
You're definitely
tip
not.
of your toes.
You're definitely not boring. I mean, this is our third Cloud Summit together, and one of the things I appreciated most about this event is a lot of people talk community, but you ask yourself what community kind of really means. And in this case, I think one of the examples of your community spirit is you've got all the major cloud people here as sponsors, and so you're trying to give the attendees a legit and authentic perspective on what's out there, how they interact with each other, potential pros and cons. Last time you even had a battle-royale or whatever, where you're having them kind of pitch against one another and stuff. And so I think that speaks to you having the community's interests at heart. But tell me a little bit about community around here from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, we try to be creative. We got the band. We've even got a Gen AI DJ. Everybody's doing Gen AI.
What is
now.
a Gen AI DJ?
So, actually, my son and I, we sat down one night and we said, let's put together a Spotify album that we can play at this thing. And it took a lot longer than we thought. You think Gen AI, take 2 seconds, we can just pump out songs. But actually, we actually had a lot of fun. We were doing probably about 1 3-minute song every night. Mm-hmm. Our favorite one, you might have seen the meme online that I started saying BB takes the stage.
Yeah.
So that's actually the lyrics of one of the songs, sort of thing.
So it's kind of like a concept album because it's centered around this event and the personalities that make it up and stuff. So you and your son use Gen AI, stay up late,
Actually, a lot of the prompts were talk about the community, talk about the $10,000 we raised for UGM, talk about women in tech, or talk about a lot of the community boosts and things like that. So the prompts that we were actually giving it. So it's quite funny because you'll hear a catchy song, but then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, it's talking about Vancouver, it's talking about cloud and nerdy stuff. It's not talking about money and rock and roll lifestyle.
Well, I don't want to insinuate that you're robbing from the rich to give to the poor, but there is a bit of a Robin Hood spirit here in that we bring in the big sponsors, the people who have resources and big speakers to bring to the table and stuff like that, and that's what they have to contribute. But then you also make pretty much a whole trade show just as large as the commercial part available for all sorts of community groups. So there's Vancouver Linux groups down there, there's Women Who Code down there, Surrey Meetup, AI Summit. I mean, I don't know who else, but tell me a little bit about your perspective there. I feel like groups like that don't usually get trade show booths in the Orpheum, but because we're able to keep the rest of the business side of things afloat, it allows you to give other opportunities to grassroots type stuff.
Socialism at its best, right? We've been really careful to make sure we have a balance. That's why we did 2 stages, so that it's not just all the big wigs. So we're actually giving the community a platform to talk. We even went to the trouble of making sure our Lego swag. So we did custom Lego swag around cloud theme, and we did custom things for AWS and Couchbase and all these guys. But we also made sure it was what's the term? Neutral. So we tried to pick Lego characters that were female or male or
just
indistinguished sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then we also had a swap area to recognize that some people might not want a pink platform with a I don't know, a masculine-looking Bruno Lego guy.
You're the most sensitive Australian that I know.
I don't. We've got Australians in the house, so I shouldn't. I don't know. We're all. Let's start insulting New Zealanders, Kiwis, and then I'll be comfortable.
I for a decade collected Australian jokes because I found that one of the best ways to actually get to know Australians was to beat them up a little bit when you're first getting to know them.
Yeah.
But I found that that's completely ineffectual with Matty because he's actually just such a sweet, big-hearted dude. So you haven't done much to add to my Australian joke collection since I've known you.
That's normally the first lesson we tell people is if we're insulting you, it means we're comfortable and that we're good mates now, sort of thing. I'm really nice to you, that Actually, I shouldn't say that. You just said I'm really nice, so maybe that means I hate everybody.
Anything else you want to share about like things you see going on in the community at large, and you know, here at this event or across the province, or any kind of what are you seeing?
So can I mention one thing?
Absolutely. This is the open.
So we're
mic part.
expanding.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be in Toronto next year. We've already got venue, and amazing venue. We've got a building all to ourselves in the center of downtown Toronto, 6 levels. It's going to be amazing. So we're not moving from here. We're still going to be in Vancouver, but we're expanding, and hopefully that helps because, you know, like, Toronto has all the headquarters for a lot of companies, so we want to try to bring that love back to Vancouver and boost the things.
In light of you expanding, and a lot of fact that a lot of people watching this won't have seen this yet, what is Cloud Summit? Give like the 30 what are you bringing to Toronto? Why would someone be like, oh, that's great that they're coming to Toronto?
So the whole mission for Cloud Summit and the non-for-profit behind it is really 3 things. It's bringing together the community around technology. It is educating, so sharing knowledge. We don't want marketing pitches or anything. We're really careful in curating that it's about knowledge that people can take away and expand and learn. We just had Brian from Datadog talking about career advice, not pitching Datadog. And then the last one is giving back to the community. So that we're doing that through charity. We've got a charity lined up in Toronto, very similar to the charity here, because the first thing I noticed when I moved to Vancouver was Hastings Street and the homeless problem there. So I did a lot of volunteer work over the years with Union Gospel, and they just felt to me like a really good fit that we're doing all this community great work here, that we also help those that are in a hard way that didn't land here, or I don't know, got kicked in the guts a bit and they need a bit of hand to get going again.
Cool. Respect and big love, Matt.
Thanks, Chris.
Over and out for now from Cloud Summit Vancouver at the Orpheum.